Hey everybody, this is Corey from CJ Custom Fishing Lures, coming to you with another painting video. Today we are going to be working on another one of our topwater ploppers. This is our TWP 75. It's got a little fatter body than the last one. It actually has a bigger eye too as well, which gives it a really cool look as it's coming through the water. Well, today we're going to use this bait and we're going to be painting our bullfrog pattern on this lure. So this is just a wonderful little pattern that we have. It's kind of a little creative. It's kind of using a lot of stencils, a lot of different type of paint techniques. And so we're going to go through with all of them and show you how we are. Before we get going, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been watching the videos. Thank you to all the people that have subscribed to the videos. It's very humbling and overwhelming to see how many people like them and subscribe to them, to these videos. So I really thank you for that. And again, if you like this video that's coming up, I ask that you subscribe to it and like it and leave comments to it about some things you might want to see me paint, or even if you have some feedback for me, I'd love to hear it. So let's get started on this video and painting this this lure. I am going to start, again, I'm going to be using my Neo Wada airbrush. As I said before, I just use a basic airbrush, which helps me to paint. And I'm going to start by putting a base coat on this lure, and I'm going to be using, again, Createx Opaque White. The airbrush is ready to go. So again, we're just going to put the base coat on. I have the pressure up a little. Doesn't matter about the directionality, and we're just going to start painting. So just start painting this. You see, it's not necessarily a big lure. The body is kind of short. It's kind of squat and stuff. I do have the propeller taped. That's because I just don't like necessarily painting the propeller, and I think it looks a lot better. As I said before, it allows the bass to focus, or the pike, or whatever we're fishing for, focus on the body of the lure, where the hooks are, instead of focusing on the prop or the propeller. So I want to make sure I get a good base coat of white. I'm going to heat set this really quick. And as I try to talk to you while I'm doing that, because part of this lure is going to stay white. So I want to make sure I have a good base coat. We are going to throw the pearl white on, which I love to do. I love to throw pearl white on just to give it that shimmer and give it that shine. So I'm just putting another coat really quick on here. I just really want to make sure this is nice and covered. This is a fun pattern to do, a fun bait to do. And the fish like it too. It gives them that look of the frog in the water, especially with the shape of the body. And if you've ever fished some nice lily pads, nice weeds, having this lure pop up, stop it, and then start it up again, it gives it that look of that frog taking off. And it's an easy snap for a nice largemouth. And I found out that it even works well for the smallmouth, especially in rivers, because it has that short and small profile, and allows them to, again, focus on that bait. So we just finished up with the opaque white, and now we're going to put our next coat on, which we're going to focus more just on the belly of this. I'm going to put it over, but I'm really going to focus on the belly, and we're going to be using the pearl white from Createx. I really like to use pearl white. I believe it gives the lure a nice little shimmer and shine. Oh, I did it again. I have this little one, and I always keep using the bigger one, or try to use the bigger one. But I use this because it gives a little shimmer, gives it a little shine to the lure, gives it that little sparkle. And as I say, as we're making these baits, if I can take something, one little glint of something that can fool a fish, attract a fish, it's going to help me with my strike rate, help me with my catch rate, and help me just to land the fish instead of losing them, or not even get a chance to fight them. All right, that looks great. So I'm just going to clear this out because I think I got it covered really good. Let's get a heat set it really quick, and then we'll definitely know for sure. Now, you see me really quickly cleaning out the airbrush. All I use is water. I'll just squirt a little water in there. I do backfill it. I'll show you what I mean for that in a second, and I will be using some paints that I will need to backflow to mix them into using. But we'll get this all nice and painted up really quick. Heated up really quick. Nice little heat set. And I show you this. From the previous one, you could just see, just how it pops to life Sometimes it might be a metallic look, but it gives it that little shine. And it has that little like hint. Sometimes you would see on the fish, almost gives like a like that blue kind of shimmer. That fish scaly shimmer kind of gives a little of that. Now we could go deeper and add some other paint shifter to it to make that happen, but this is good for what we need. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to take Pearl Pineapple. This is the yellow version of it, and it's just that they call it pineapple. This is by Createx as well. I will put the website down in the link below. Now, some of these paints I got straight from Createx. Some of the other ones I believe I got it from Dixie Art. Same great product, just different places. For some reason, one had placed the paint and the other one didn't. So that's where I went with that. So all I'm going to do here is just cover, but I'm going to try to bring it down to a little past the midsection on the lure. So if we're looking right here, so I'm going to try to get right down here for this. So I'm not going to put a lot of air to it. I do have the pressure up. You can turn the pressure down, but if you learn what they refer to as trigger control, where you're not pushing down on the trigger, like blaring down on it like that, but just lightly tapping it, so you can just let a little air out, you can pretty much set your pressure where you want it and then work with it from there. And again, that's just getting to know your equipment. They're your tools. If you've ever watched Mike Iaconelli, he says it best. Those fishing rods, those fishing lures, those are his tools. It's his craft, and he needs to know them. So there we have a nice little yellow base on this lure. So we're going to be done with the pearl yellow at this point. So I'm going to clear that out. We don't need it. I'm going to do a heat set because we are going to be putting a stencil, or I should say, a stencil, a wrap around this lure, because we're going to put a pattern onto the lure, which would be behind the spots for the bullfrog that we're going to put on. So just bear with me. It will make sense as we do it. But let me heat set this really, really quick. I am keeping the belly of it white. We will add a little color to the belly because, you know, as I like to say, when you have baits in the water, you want something for the fish to target or strike. So we will do that. Now, the pattern we're going to put on is I have this little this mesh. I believe it's just a floral type ribbon that you get. I bought a huge roll of it. I think I'll have it for the next 35 years. But all we're going to do is wrap this around the bait. I have these old alligator clips, all of different sizes, and we're going to clip it onto the bait so we can put this pattern. Now, you can choose to put it this way so the pattern goes, or you can put it this way. It's totally your preference of what you want to do. I'm going to put it the longer way, so the holes in the pattern go lengthen with it. It's a total preference. It does not matter which way you do it. That's totally how you want that bait to look. Going to take the alligator clip it on the nose just so I can set it. And then it will come in the back. Pop one on this back here. So now I kind of have it set. And now some people will trim it down. You don't have to. I use these for a variety of lures. So you can roll it up, put it on there, and clip it on so you don't have to necessarily cut it and have a lot of scraps laying around. Since I'm not really doing the belly, I don't really have to worry about making sure that's covered, deeply covered. But watch that you don't scratch the belly when you're putting these on. So here I have it on. You see it wrapped around there. Now it's not going to look the same on both sides because you saw that the pattern that was on the stencil is kind of Picasso-like, abstract, I guess the word is for it. And so that's there. So I'm just going to stick it right back on the helping hands. Right back on the helping hands. And we're going to start playing the pattern. So to do this, I'm going to start with Pearl Lime. Pearl Lime here. Now, there's a couple ways we're going to do this pattern. I am going to put a couple shades of green on here. But I don't necessarily want, as they go down the lure, to start getting to have the dark green going all the way down the lure. So I probably am going to use the pearl green to go farther down. And the one thing I'm going to do, I'm only going to be going in this direction with this green, because as I get to the top, my hope is that it's hitting the one side of the lure, the stencil, and it's putting more paint in that way. And so when I come back with the other side there, it'll catch the other side, and hopefully we can see some color variations with it. And I think actually I had the bait backwards. So on this, making sure I'm doing this right. Yes, I want to do the back way. So I'm going to go this way for these. I'm going to go from front to back. So I am going to start down here, and I'm just going to go front to back. Now, this pearl lime and the pearl pineapple are kind of close in color, so it's not necessarily going to overtake the yellow. It's going to give a little green highlight on the yellow, but it's not going to overtake it and overpower it. When we get it done and taken out of the stencil, you will see that with it. So I'm just going to go the whole bait, even the top, going over it so I can tell that the openings that are on the ribbon, on the stencil, I got pearl lime covering the whole lure. Just front to back, front to back. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to carefully, because I don't want the ribbon to stretch or shrink or fold, I'm going to heat it from a distance, just lightly. I got to put the other color on it, but just lightly. And as you use these stencils, it builds up a paint layer, so it becomes stronger, and it won't necessarily tear as easy, and you're going to get different lines and different patterns to it as you paint. All right, so we're going to be done with the pearl lime, and I'm going to pull out a pearl green, just a regular pearl green. This one, we went front to back with the pearl lime. So this time, we're going to go back to front with the pearl green. But we're going to stay toward the top of the bait and maybe come down a little bit. Maybe let the overspray do it, because I don't want down here to be in the dark green. I want it to kind of fade down to the white. So we're going to go from the back to the front, giving it a different green, giving it a different look. Hopefully because we're going at the angle, we're not overtaking all of the pearl lime. That pearl lime will come through and shine for us, giving us a variety of color looks, trying to keep the overspray to use. And remember, this is it from the back. So on the background of the lure. Let's see what that has done. So for us normally you're going to let it dry. You might let it sit for a little bit. I am going to heat set it so I can take it out of the stencil a little sooner. A lot of times I like to let these sit. Sometimes 10, 15 minutes, then come back and heat set them. And then I will carefully take the stencil off, because you don't want to pull paint. You don't want to scratch it. Now, again, this wasn't supposed to be a uniform pattern. This is supposed to be for something in the background to give it a little texture, give it a little depth in the pattern, because we are going to be putting the spots on, different spots on the bullfrog as well. So I think we got a pretty good heat set here. Let's take it out of the helping hands. And if you're looking for these helping hands, a great tool to use while you paint, I pick them up at Harbor Freight. I think they're like $12, $13, maybe $15. They usually come with a magnifying glass on top, and you can pull that off, and then you have the helping hands there. All right, let's see what we got. A big reveal here. We carefully open this up. Pull it out. Now, one thing I have, this stencil has a lot of glitter on it still, so it comes out. So now you get to see this pattern here that comes out there. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. All right, just some, just a little texture in the back, so it's not just necessarily solid. I want the face to have a little more green, so I am just going to take this, the pearl green. I'm not going to go heavy, but I'm going to darken it up a little. Just a little bit. Okay, I like it. I like what that looks like. So we're just going to stick it right back into the helping hands, and we're going to go on to the next phase of the project. So get rid of the stencil off to the side. We're going to clear the air gun, the airbrush, I should say, and get ready to do some details on the side. Now, to do the spots, if you can freehand, by all means, freehand them. Some people are very good at doing the freehand, and so if you can do it, do it. You know, that's great. You got a nice steady hand, and you're able to put that nice detail and that nice texture on it. Got to make sure I got the right stencil. Here we go. So for this one, I believe I got this stencil from Insane Custom Lures. It's a creature type, or I can't remember the stencil. It's just a variety of different holes, different sizes. You can see I have it marked where I might want to do a bass lateral line. I might do this side, which is kind of cake, but I use this for crappie on this side. And just use any of these varieties to make our pattern on the side. So, since it is a smaller bait, it's not necessarily going to take a lot to cover it on here. So I'm going to tip the helping hands away from me a little bit. You could put this on the sponge, which we've done before. And we're going to look for a nice little spot here. So I think I like that one. And I'm going to try to focus on just blowing air through one of these and putting it on there. And let me put one more on, and then I'll show you. This one I might be able to use two of them. All right, so that's all we're just doing, is putting those spots on like that. Now, if you hold it really close, it has that up close look, and if you pull it from afar, it kind of gives it, I don't want to call it a ghost look, but it gives it a little distance look to it, just a little different dimension. So all we're going to do is just find different patterns that we want to put on the bait. And if you notice, I'm sticking really close to the side because we are going to put something on top. So I don't want to necessarily cover the top because I have other plans for the top. And afterwards, we might come back and do some more work. So before I move to the other side, as you can see it developing right there, I am going to darken in the eye here. Give it a nice black look and come out on the edges a little. All right. And so you see it just like this. Because I believe for this bait, I'm going to put a nice red eye in there. And it's going to make it really pop. And when we see the final product at the end of the video, you're going to really see it come to life. I'll show you the eyes that I'm going to use. And I think it'd be something really cool. I'm going to darken the eyes really quick right now. All right. Put a couple more of these on. Try to find a nice one. All right. Now, I did leave the top, and that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool, if you can see it there. Move the paint bottle out of your way. There we go. Now, one thing I like to do on the top, just to keep switching up, give it a look, I have this creature stencil from Insane Custom Stencil. I have to look up the exact name. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But I'm going to use this creature stencil on top and give it a look. I'm going to try to go really just right down the middle and maybe just a little over the side to give it a very unique look to this bait. For this one, I'm going to go front to back because I might have to move my fingers with it. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Really, really cool. Now, that also leaves a lot of extra sides. So I can take and add more of our spots in those areas. Now that I know where it's at, how far we go, I can add more spots. All right. You know, you might want to fill it up so there's spots all over the place. You might be this is more type person. You choose. You choose what you want to do, what you want to put on this lure. Remember, you're making it. It's what you want it to be, what you need it to be for you to have confidence to catch those fish. And if you're making it to sell, unless it's for somebody specific, you still get to customize it. That is, again, why we call them custom lures. Okay, so we're looking at this, looking pretty good. I think I got that one spot going up into the creature thing, but it looks good. Looks good. Okay, so that is our black in there with the black spots there. We darkened in the eyes because we're going to make out the eyes that pop out of this lure. Our next step is kind of a unique step. We are going to be using the color from Createx from the Wicked, but we're going to be using Detail Black Magenta. This is going to give it a look. It's almost going to give it kind of, I don't want to say lifelike look, but it's going to give it a little different kind of darker look to it. It's going to, it looks really cool. So let me get it on here. Since it is magenta, it does have like a little purplish tint to it. So it adds like another color that will be in this lure. And now we're not going to put it on heavy. It's meant to be an accent. So I'm just going to lightly go over it. Darken it just a little. Take down the color tone of it just a little bit. But man, it does something special for this lure. It will turn some of the colors. It gives it a different hue to it. Let me add a little more here. Oh, wow. Yeah. Check that out. Check that out. On the top, still has that pearl, but it gives it that little different look on that pearl. Now, if you don't want the belly to be white or totally stay white, you can take it and using the Detail Black Magenta, you can give it some spots. Give it a little spritzing on the bottom. Again, this is only if you want to do that, so you can put it on there. It gives it a nice little look. A little bit of a detail on there. Now, before I put my paint shifter on, as I said before, I like to give it a little color on the bottom. Give the fish a little target as the bait's coming through, or if it's standing still, give it something to look at. I prefer to use orange. I'm going to use just a transparent, excuse the rage, just a transparent orange. That's all I'm going to use to do this. We're not going to put heavy on the bottom. I mean, you can put it all underneath the jaw, or you could just put it back in the tail. We could take a gander really quick. So if I tip it up, I could simply just do that. That little orange there. But I'm really liking how the black magenta spots are working. So I'm going to give a little up here in the front as well. Ooh, I really like how those spots, are coming through. Man. So I'm just going to do that. Now, if you don't like that, you don't have to do that. You could have stopped back there. That gives it a different kind of look, gives it a target underneath for the fish to see, and lets them come after it. So with that, we have our bait that has all its basic colors that we're going to put on it. And the last thing I love to put on is a paint shifter. So we're going to put a paint shifter on it. And today we're going to try a new paint shifter. New to me, I should say. Give it a try. Now, this isn't any like what do you want to call it, a expensive brand. This is a simple brand you could buy at Michael's. You could buy this at Walmart. It is for some reason still got the wrapper on it. So let's take that off really quick. This is a color shift. It's from Folk Art. And it's a green flash is what it's called. Now, these tend to shoot very thick. And these tend to be very, very thick paints. So get them all shaken up. I thought I had that off already. So I get that all shaken up. It's got this green. And it's supposed to, as it says on the back, it says it's going to have green flash that shifts to gold. So even a cooler look that's going to happen to this bait. So we're going to drop a little in. It's very, very thick. I'm going to show you. I don't know if you can see it in there, but it is very, very thick. So what we're going to do is take our 4011, move my bait here a little bit, 4011 reducer, and we're going to add some to it, and we're going to thin this bait down so it just shoots through the air gun easier. And as the backflow, cover with a finger, pressure down, pull back. And it allows the air to come through. It allows it to mix in. Allows the bait to mix up in there. Now, if you don't want to do that, and you're impatient and you want to just start spraying, you could take, I have a little paper clip like this, bend it out, and you can mix it in very gently in there. Just be careful you don't bend your needle or do damage to the needle. So all I'm going to do is lightly just front to back, front to back, front to back. Wow, there we go. Not a lot. Little shift on there. I'm going to heat set it. For a minute there, I thought it might have undid everything about the black magenta, but it didn't do that. All right. I think I'm going to add a little more now that I've heat set it. And see there. So just going to, again, front to back, front to back, front to back. All right. That's really cool. Little quick heat set again. Now, some of these baits say they might take a little bit to dry, but see what happens. Now, I think I see the paint shifter on there right now, and I don't know if you can see it, but if we look here, and if I can hit the right light just right, I think you can start to see that gold little shine come across the top. That's pretty cool. That's the first time I've ever used that color, and I have a feeling it's going to be a staple for this bait. All right, so here is our topwater popper and our bullfrog pattern. It's almost looked like a camouflage bullfrog, but what I want to do is take you, include the airbrush, I want to take you back through the steps, take you back through the baits that the paints that we used to make this bait happen. So if you're at home and you need to write them down really quick, you can. And I'll take some time here to go through them. So again, we always start with a base coat. So that base coat was opaque white from Createx. And then, get the right bottle this time, we use pearl white. Then we hit it with some pearl pineapple, just 3/4 of the way down. So that's by Createx as well. Then we overlaid our ribbon stencil here. And then we shot from front to back, I believe it was, our pearl lime. Then we came in and shot from back to front with our pearl green. I might have those backwards, but you know, we went in one direction with the pearl green. When that was done, we took that off. We pulled out our pearl black, and using our stencil here, we did the sides and the spots in the sides. We grabbed our creature stencil to do our top. And then afterwards, we hit it with our detail black magenta. After we did that, even spritz the body, we hit the bottom of it with some transparent orange. And then we finally finished up with this color shift by Folk Art. So I hope you were able to learn something from this video. I hope you got to see some really, really interesting ways to paint. I hope it's some ways that you can put into practice to paint. And before I leave, and I know the video is getting a little long, and I don't necessarily like to edit them down. I like to just keep it rolling. I am going to use these red eyes that I have, just to show you really quick before it comes. Yeah, put it right in there. Yeah, that's going to look intense. It's going to look intense. But remember, before I can put eyes on it, I need to hit it with the 4050 Createx UVLS Clear Gloss. I put that in a cup. I mix it up. I add the 4011 reducer. And then I spray it on. Let it sit. Let it dry. Then I can put the eyes on it. And it's good to go. And then I can clear coat it. And when I clear coat this, oops, hit the camera there. I clear coat it with a Luma UV. So I hope, as I said, you've found some things that might be interesting, more things you want to try. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm looking to do a shop update because just besides these baits that I've been working on, I have other baits that I have been painting and that I'm currently working on. And so I'd like to show you those. And then if you like them, then maybe we can do a video on them as well. So I'm wishing you a good night. I wish you a good happy painting. And this is Corey from CJ Custom Fishing Lures, where we make serious baits for serious fish. Good luck on the water, and I can't wait to paint with you next time.